Greetings and warm welcome, dear audience, to our another professional masterclass again. And today we will have our session on advanced level tools and techniques and publishing. Tools, techniques, and publishing. And our topic for the day will be publishing in academic journals, part 1, lecture number 18. Yeah, for this, I would welcome Ambassador Professor Dr. Rania Lampu to take over the session. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Stera. Good afternoon from Athens, from Greece, from the Greek Ministry of Education. Welcome to this new webinar on innovative research and scholarly publishing, what are the best practices for success. And the responsibility, actually, I want to say that the responsibility of researchers has grown now, not only to produce high quality original work, but also to ensure its integrity, its accessibility, and impact. Therefore, scholarly publishing is more than just sharing findings. Remember this, it's about building trust, fostering collaboration, and making a meaningful contribution to society. So today, throughout the session, we will explore the evolving landscape of research and publishing. We will discuss some practical strategies, ethical considerations, and innovative tools that can help us navigate challenges such as open access, peer review, and the responsible use of emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence in the research process. So let us embrace this opportunity to strengthen our research practices, to elevate our publishing standards and inspire a new generation of scholars to pursue excellence with integrity. Thank you, Dr. Estera, for this invitation, and of course, Elena de Par Education for giving this wonderful opportunity. So I will start sharing now. I don't know if you can see now the presentation.
Yeah, it's on now.
And you see the change of slides also?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's okay.
So first, we'll talk about innovative research. And the first step is the research ideation. What is ideation? It's the original idea that will make our work stand out. So how can researchers first identify emerging or high-impact research areas? Here, a structured approach. First is the bibliometric and centrometric analysis. These methods analyze research publication patterns and citations. So, citation analysis, for example, tracks frequently cited papers or authors in specific fields. Co-citation and bibliographic coupling. This identifies clusters of research that are intellectually connected. Keyword trend analysis. This reveals emerging topics by monitoring the frequency and context of specific keywords over time. Altmetrics measures attention in social media, news, and online platforms indicating public or cross-disciplinary interest. So some tools for this: Web of Science, Google Scholar, Dimensions, VOS Viewer, SciSpace, were very, very popular already among scholars. Second step, monitoring research funding trends. Agencies tend to invest in forward-looking or social critical areas. So grant basis, we talk about this basis where we try to search for funded project abstracts, and we can check priorities for major funders, for example, European Union Horizon projects, the budget allocations in certain research areas, and remember that increases in funding for certain areas often precede publication spikes. And what are the tools? NSF awards, European Cordis, UK ERI Gateway, etc. Of course, the conference topics, new or expanding conference tracks often signal emerging areas. So here we need to monitor major conferences in our field to analyze themes, keynote speeches, special sessions, so we can pay attention to workshops and symposia attached to larger conference. And another aspect is the patent analysis. Patents can indicate innovation trends not yet fully visible in academic literature. So here we check for patent citations, identify technologies that are foundational or disruptive. The patent clustering, we analyze how technologies overlap with academic research. What are the tools here? Google Patents, Lensa, Orca, SpaceNet, etc. The expert networks, where researchers discuss cutting-edge work, of course, Twitter, ResearchGate, Reddit, academic newsletters, podcasts, that offer curated insight into what's gaining attention, what is trendy in the research areas. The cross-disciplinary signals, emerging areas often arise at the intersection of fields, AI, biology, bioinformatics. Here we can track collaborations across departments or faculties. We can watch for new interdisciplinary journals or institutes. And recent reviews often outline future research directions based on current gaps. So we talk about systematic reviews and meta-analysis. We can read reviews in high-impact journals, which often influence funding and policy. So if we could do my summary checklist, we could say that if the indicator citation spikes, we can use some tools like Scopus or Web of Science. For the funding increases, NSF, for conference sessions, for patent fields, Google Patents, for expert commentaries, we will check for podcasts, for Twitters. So according to the indicator, the signal type, we will use appropriate methods and tools. And for new journal specialists, of course, the publisher websites. So what are some strategies that can help you find original ideas, what we call ideation? Generating original innovative research ideas requires, of course, what? A combination of curiosity, of critical thinking, and strategic exploration. So some effective strategies, first, to explore interdisciplinary approaches. We can merge, we can combine fields from different disciplines. Psychology and AI, biology and economics. We can attend cross-disciplinary seminars. These provide unique perspectives that may spark new ideas. Identify gaps in existing literature. How? Through conducting a literature review, analyze recent publications, or focus on the future work or limitation sections for inspiration. Engage with practitioners. We talk about problem solving, talk to professionals or policymakers or communities to understand pressing issues and field observations. This has to do with practical challenges, which often reveal gaps in theory or suggest novel applications. Reverse thinking and assumption challenging. So here we question basic assumptions. We can ask, what if the opposite were true, or apply reverse engineering. So to try here to deconstruct existing solutions to discover novel problem-solving approaches. We can use creative techniques like mind mapping or what we call Scamber technique. What is Scamber technique? It's the acronym of substitute, combine, adapt, modify, and put to another user. Eliminate, reverse. Use these prompts to innovate. And another technique for brainstorming and creative thinking is a random stimulation, where we introduce a random concept or word or image and try to connect it to our research area. Of course, we can leverage technology and tools. We can use AI for trend analysis. We analyze large volumes of data, emerging keywords, or citation networks, the data mining. This reveals evolving public concerns or behaviors, or social media analysis, engagement in collaborative brainstorming. So here we can join research groups or think tanks, group discussions, often generate more ideas. Presentation at conferences or monitoring emerging trends, reading cutting-edge journals, preprint, follow partner priorities and policy reports. So these often highlight future research directions. And conduct what-if scenarios. Here we can model hypothetical changes. For example, what if this technology were adopted globally? Or simulate future events. Think about potential shifts in society, technology, or environment, and reflect on personal interests and experiences. So this means draw from personal challenges or curiosities. Why? Because this often leads to passionate or unique inquiries, and at the same time use your background or identity. Diverse perspectives can highlight overlooked issues. Now, how does interdisciplinary collaboration foster research innovation? In several key ways. First, by combining diverse perspectives. So researchers from different disciplines bring unique methodologies, theories, and ways of thinking. This diversity often leads to creative problem solving, novel approaches that wouldn't emerge within a single field. For example, combining biology and computer science has led to breakthroughs in bioinformatics and genomics. Addressing complex problems, because many of today's pressing challenges, climate change, public health crisis, AI ethics, are too complex for any one discipline to tackle alone. Interdisciplinary teams can draw on multiple areas of expertise to develop more holistic and effective solutions. Catalyzing methodological innovation, this means that collaboration often leads to the adaptation or creation of new research methods. For instance, applying engineering models in medical research has improved diagnostic tools, while data science has transformed research in fields like sociology and economics. Accelerating knowledge transfer, ideas and technologies developed in one field can find innovative applications in another. For example, techniques from physics and material science have significantly advanced medical imaging and nanotechnology. Enhancing research impact. Interdisciplinary work has often a broader social, economic, and environmental impacts, as it tends to align more closely with real-world problems that span multiple domains. Working across disciplines, of course, is something that encourages stepping outside traditional boundaries, which promotes intellectual risk-taking, and this can lead to disruptive innovations that redefine fields or create entirely new ones. So, in essence, interdisciplinary collaboration acts as a catalyst for innovation by creating fertile ground where ideas can intersect, evolve, and lead to transformative outcomes. Of course, creativity here plays a crucial role in designing research projects, even though research is usually considered as a logical and systematic process. So how creativity contributes? Creative thinking helps researchers identify gaps, frame original, meaningful questions that others haven't explored, reimagine old problems in new contexts or from new perspectives, so formulating unique research questions. Creativity allows also researchers to develop new approaches to data collection or analysis, combine methods from different disciplines, so the disciplinary approach, and adapt the methods to suit challenging or unconventional environments, so designing innovative methodologies. And problem solving during the research process means that unexpected issues often arise. So creativity helps researchers adapt and pivot when methods fail or data is incomplete. It encourages, of course, out-of-the-box thinking to overcome obstacles. Creative thinking is essential for seeing patterns or connections others might miss, or considering alternative explanations, or theorizing beyond immediate findings. And effective communication of research involves how to create a compelling narrative, how to use engaging visuals or metaphors, and of course, reaching audiences outside academia in clear and compactful ways. While research demands rigor, definitely, creativity, it's what fuels innovation, relevance, and adaptability of a research project. The best research designs often emerge when imagination meets methodological planning. So what about research design and methodology? Choosing the most appropriate research methodology involves a systematic and reflective approach. So first you need to understand your research question. Ask it is exploratory, descriptive, evaluative, explanatory. Is it looking for meanings, experiences, or measurable relationships? Identify the nature of your data. What kind of data will best help answer the question? Quantitative, qualitative. Consider the research objectives. Take into consideration all these ethical and practical constraints, the time, the budget, the issue of consent, of confidentiality, of feasibility of data collection methods. Review the existing literature. What methods have other researchers used in this field? Can you replicate or adapt a proven approach? And of course, decide on a research paradigm, which is your worldview of theoretical approach, positivist, subjective reality. Then it will be likely a quantitative. Interpretivist, multiple realities, likely qualitative. Pragmatic, often mixed methods. The best methodology is one that aligns with your research question, fits the nature of the data, and respects practical and ethical boundaries. Don't just choose what is popular, choose what is purposeful. And what are the best practices for ensuring validity and reliability in our research? We have explained this in other sessions, previous sessions, a lot. We have said that we need to take into consideration all the ethical constraints. We need to consider the research objectives, to select the appropriate tools, to review all the practical constraints, etc. And new technologies or tools, of course, are there at our disposal. Throughout our sessions, we have explored some of these AI tools. Why they are important? Because especially AI tools or simulations or data analytics platforms, now these tools are revolutionizing research across disciplines. So they can enhance research methods. If we talk about, for example, AI algorithm, which can process and analyze massive data set much faster than humans, or natural language processing tools which can extract the themes, sentiments, and insights from unstructured data like interviews, articles, or social media. Automated data scrapping tools now allow researchers to collect the real-time data from online sources with minimal manual effort. So, accelerating data collection analysis. Second, enhancing predictive analytical capabilities, because machine learning models can detect hidden patterns and relationships in complex data sets, allowing for what we call predictive modeling. In fields like epidemiology or climate science, AI helps simulate future scenarios based on multiple variables. Advancing experimental design with simulations. Computer-based simulations allow researchers to model environments or processes that are too costly, dangerous, or impractical to stand in real life. Agent-based modeling simulates the actions and interactions of autonomous agents, which are useful in economics, sociology, and biology. In medicine and genomics, AI enables precision research, such as tailoring treatment options based on individual genetic data. In education or psychology, adaptive learning platforms use AI to personalize experiments or interventions. We have open source research tools like R, Python, Jupyter Notebooks, which promote reproducibility and allow others to verify and build upon findings. And blockchain and digital ledgers are being explored to timestamp research steps and ensure data integrity. We have transcription tools like Otter AI or Whisper, which reduce the time spent transcribing interviews or focus groups. Or AI-assisted coding in Vivo, for example, Max Quida helps identify themes in qualitative data. And cloud platforms like Google Colab, Overleaf, GitHub allow real-time collaboration across geographic boundaries. Virtual labs and remote experiments, which allow broader participation in more inclusive research environments, expanding experimental possibilities because VR and AR offer immersive environments for experiments in psychology, training, design, and human behavior. And I can mention digital twins. Digital twins can create real-time digital replicas of physical systems used in urban planning, in engineering, in healthcare, etc. So, of course, here, as I always say in my presentations, we need to be careful of the ethical considerations, the bias, the over-reliance on automation, and privacy and data protection. Some common methodological errors to avoid in academic research before starting talking about publishing, because this presentation will have two parts. The first is how what we explore now is how we can conduct innovative research, and the second one would be smart publishing strategies. So avoiding methodological errors is crucial to maintaining the validity, reliability, and credibility of academic research. So first, if, for example, you have vague, unfocused, or overly broad questions, then how we can fix this? We can formulate clear, specific, and researchable questions or hypotheses aligned with our study objectives. If we use the wrong design for the research question, for example, you use cross-sectional instead of longitudinal, how we can fix this? We can ensure that the design, qualitative, or mixed, fits the research aims and types of data. What about sampling errors? If we have small or biased or non-representative samples, how we can fix this? We can use randomization or stratified sampling to improve representativeness. So calculate sample size in advance using power analysis. Measurement errors, if we use unvalidated instruments or consistent procedures, so this is the error, how we can fix this. We can use reliable and valid tools, pilot test them even as necessary, and standardized procedures for consistency. If you not account for variables that may influence both the independent and dependent variables, how we can fix this? We can identify and control for co-founders through design. For example, matching and analysis, regression, for instance. If we interpret the p-values as the only measure of importance, then we can fix this, we can report them and interpret effect sizes, confidence intervals, and practical significance as well. If we test multiple hypotheses without pre-registration or proper correction leading to false positives, then we can pre-register hypothesis and analysis plans using Bonferroni correction or similar methods if we're doing multiple comparisons. If we, for example, ignore or delete missing data without analysis, then how we can fix this error? We can analyze patterns of missingness and use techniques like multiple imputation or maximum likelihood estimation. If we infer causality from correlational or observational data, then we need to be cautious in language and use experimental designs when possible. And inadequate literature review, for example, if we fail to contextualize the study or missing recent developments, then we need to conduct a comprehensive and up-to-date literature review to justify the research gap and methods. If we don't document procedures, data, or code clearly, then we need to follow open science practices, share data code when it's possible, and document all steps thoroughly. If we interpret data to support preconceived beliefs or hypotheses, how we can fix this? We can remain objective and use blind analysis or involve independent reviewers when possible. So these common methodological errors that we need to avoid. So I mention some of these errors and how we can fix them. And you can see the description. When there is a lack of focus, when there is a misaligned method, a representative sample, what we can do, what is the solution. For each error type, there is always a solution. Now, this is the second part of my presentation, writing for high-impact journals. What makes an academic article stand out to top-tier journals? An academic article stands out when it demonstrates excellence, originality, and relevance across several dimensions. So usually what editors and reviewers typically look for is if your article presents a novel idea, theory, method, or finding, if it fills a clear gap in the literature, challenges existing assumptions, if it offers meaningful implications for theory, practice, or future research. So ask yourself, what does this article add that others haven't? The second, strong research question and focus. This has to do with a clearly defined, specific, and researchable question. The article stays focused and coherent, addressing that question throughout. A robust and appropriate methodology. Methods are rigorous, transparent, and replicable. Methodology is well matched to the research question. The data collection and analysis are sound and clearly justified. If your article follows a logical flow, introduction, literature methods, there are strong transitions, clear documentation, if each section builds on the previous one. The critical engagement with literature, so this demonstrates a deep understanding of the field, positions the study in relevant debates or theoretical frameworks, if this cites current and influential sources. And high quality writing, here we talk about academic yet engaging and concise, so free of jargon unless justified, explained, polished grammar, style, and formative. Significance and impact. So if your article addresses timely or important issue, if this has the potential to influence future research, policy, and practice, if sometimes this includes interdisciplinary appeal, global relevance. And ethical approvals and considerations are clearly addressed. Of course, this has to do with ethical integrity. If data availability and limitations are transparently discussed. So we could review here checklist, summary checklist, what we could say that what editors and reviewers look for is about an original relevant contribution. If there is a clear and focused question, if there is appropriate methodology, structure, strong methodology, if there is a logical flow, a literature engagement, excellent writing and presentation, ethical research practice, clear significance and impact. So how to structure now a compelling introduction and discussion section? Structuring a compelling introduction discussion section is essential for engaging readers and clearly conveying your research significance. So first, this is the hook and broad context. Start with a strong opening, a surprising fact or a relevant quote or a pressing social issue. Briefly outline the broad field or real-world context that your research fits into. Second, literature review. Summarize key studies to show what is already known. So identify controversies or inconsistencies in the existing literature. The problem statement, clearly define the specific issue your study addresses, or emphasize why this matters scientifically, socially, or practically. State the aims and the specific research questions. Use clear, focused language. Highlight what make your research original or necessary. Explain the potential impact or contribution to the field. After the discussion section, here we need to relate key findings. So begin by summarizing the main results in plain language without repeating the entire result section. Second, the interpretation of findings. This includes that the explanation of what the results mean in the context of our research questions, to link findings back to the literature that we reviewed in the introduction. Of course, implications. This includes discussion about theoretical, practical, or policy implications, and highlighting how our findings advance understanding or can be applied. Comparison with previous research, so point out consistencies or contradictions with prior studies, provide reasons for any unexpected outcomes, and what are the limitations, acknowledge any limitation in study design, sample size, methods of interpretation, show awareness and transparency. And what about recommendations for future research, suggest how future studies can build on your work, identify unanswered questions or new areas of interest. So, of course, in the conclusion, we can wrap up with a concise takeaway message that reinforces the importance of your study. So, by following this structure, your introduction will draw readers in and will justify the study's relevance, while your discussion will leave them with a clear understanding of your contributions and the path forward. And what about the tone and style? In scholarly writing, regardless of the field, the tone and style should be formal, objective, precise, and evidence-based. However, the slight variations exist depending on your discipline. But if we want to focus on a general overview, followed by specific considerations for different fields, we will use this one. General scholarly tone and style, which is formal, unbiased, and impersonal. So the style here should be clear and concise. Third point of view, avoid contractions, colloquialism, emphasize the logical documentation, support of claims with citations. Discipline-specific variations. For example, if you are in the field of STEM, the tone here of your writing should be neutral, detached, and highly objective. The style, if we talk about emphasis on precision, reproducibility, passive voice is often used, so active voice is becoming more, although passive voice is becoming more accepted. And use of visual to support the textual analysis. If you are in the field of social sciences, the tone is still formal, but it allows more nuanced documentation, so where you have a mix of active passive voice, strong focus on literature engagement and methodology. If you are in humanities, the tone is formal, but it is more analytical, interpretive. There is a more space for nuanced expression, rhetorical devices, a strong focus on critical thinking, documentation, and source analysis. If you are in the health and medical science field, then the tone is clinical and objective. Here, the style needs to avoid emotional speculative language. There is an emphasis on clarity, a heavily structured format, the IMRAD, a classical format, introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So, if we want to summarize the key tips for scholarly writing is that you need to use discipline-appropriate terminology without excessive jargon, ensure logical flow through clear transitions and structured documentation, prioritize clarity over complexity, don't use big words if simpler ones communicate better, and follow the required citation style. Now, what tools, we talk about technology now, tools, technology for researchers. I think this is the most interesting part. For citation, we have the three popular tools, Zotero, EndNote, and Mendeley. And RefWorks also. Ideal for undergraduate students or library support environments, BibTeX, LaTeX. So each one, as I'm always saying in my presentations, there is no one best tool. Each tool has its strengths and weaknesses. We can't say that one is better than the other. So, so how can these tools, for example, assist them with literature review? We have Semantic Scholar, Connected Papers, Elicit. These tools can quickly surface relevant high-impact papers based on the keywords or research questions. They often offer semantic search, which understands context, not just keywords. They can help us summarize research papers, highlighting key findings, methodologies, and contributions in seconds. They are useful for scanning large volumes of literature quickly. Some tools can map out research trends, citation networks, or detect underexplored areas, helping researchers identify gaps in the literature. And the reference management, because there are some AI-integrated tools, can automatically organize and format citations. In general, AI tools can help us with every stage of academic writing, whether this is grammar style correction. We have amazing tools like Killbot or Grammarly or Microsoft Editor, which improve clarity, tone, and grammatical correctness. It can help us with paraphrasing and rewriting, rephrase sentences to improve readability or reduce similarity indexes with ethical use in mind. AI can help brainstorm thesis statements, research questions, or outlines based on a prompt. They can automatically generate and format references in APA, MLA, Chicago, etc., reducing time and formatting errors, with plagiarism checking, language support, etc. While all these tools are powerful, they should augment, not replace, critical thinking and scholarly judgment. So best practices include always verify AI-generated content, avoid using AI for data fabrication or classification, and cite AI-generated ideas or summaries when this is appropriate. So for the research, amazing tools we can mention is Research Rabbit, Cite AI, ELSIT, for summarization, scholarly, LDR, for writing assistance, Killbot, Grammarly, for reference management, Zotero, Mendeley, and Note, and for idea outline generation, ChatGPT or Nation AI, etc., etc. What software platforms are most useful for data visualization and analysis? Python with libraries like Matplotlib and Plotly and Pandas, Tableau, very popular, Power BI, SPSS, Google Data Studio, etc. How can researchers use productivity tools to manage research timelines? Researchers can use productivity tools by organizing tasks, setting deadlines, tracking progress, and facilitating collaboration. We can use tools like Trello, Asana, Microsoft To Do to break down the research project into smaller tasks. Then we can assign deadlines and priorities to each task to create a clear roadmap. We can use visual boards or lists which help monitor what is done and progress or what is pending. Then we have a calendar integration. We can synchronize research milestones and deadlines with calendars for the Google Calendar, for example, the Outlook. We can set reminders for key dates, such as submission deadlines, data collection periods or meetings. This helps prevent last-minute rushes and ensures steady progress. The time tracking, use apps like Toggle or Rescue Time to monitor how much time is spent on different research activities. This identifies time sinks or distractions, allowing better focus and adjustment on plans and collaboration communication platforms like Slack, Microsoft Teams, or Google Workspace facilitate seamless communication among research team members. So shared documents and task lists ensure that everyone is aligned on timelines and responsibilities. Tools like Note that I mentioned help organize the references efficiently, saving time during writing. Cloud storage like Google Drive, Dropbox allow access to documents anytime and helps avoid version conflicts. For project planning, we have Microsoft Project or Smartsheet or ClickUp, which visualize the entire research timeline. And this helps in spotting overlaps, dependencies, and potential bottlenecks early. The automation, you can use automation tools like Zapier to link apps, and this saves manual effort, reduces chances of forgetting tasks. I can show you some examples before concluding for today. ChatGPT is very popular, we know already. It offers support for literature review, for idea generation, writing assistance. They can help us with the title creation, with abstract creation, production. Here you can see discussion, brainstorming, almost with every step. What are the disadvantages of using, for example, ChatGPT? But there is usually consistency variability. I mean, sometimes you can have a lack of appropriate citations, or you can find you can get wrong citations. So you must be very careful and cross-check, especially to talk about reference citation. The plagiarism concerns a lack of interpretability and limited control over output. So what I would suggest as a tip is, if you are a scholar or researcher, first you need to be in touch, always in contact with the coordinator, with the ethics review board of your institution. If you want to publish an article in a journal, you check the guidelines of a journal, because not all journals agree, accept the use of AI tools. So first you check if the use of AI tool is accepted. The first step is this. The second is that you need to explain how you use this tool. For example, you can write in the method section or discussions that you use this tool, Elicit, for which reason. And not only this, you need to create a citation and reference of the exact tool that you use and why you use this tool. And you give the exact prompt. Because, for example, if you use ChatGPT, it is important to document the exact text created, because ChatGPT will generate another response, a unique response in each such session. So even if you give the same prompt, that's why you need to document the exact text that you got from ChatGPT. So that could be in an appendix of your paper, in online supplemental materials, so that readers have access to the exact text that was generated. Here is an example of how you can make a citation, OpenAI 2023, ChatGPT, etc., etc. So how this next citation reference should be. And other tools, Consensus, it's a search engine that helps researchers to find relevant research papers, provides also summaries, site assistant, helps researchers find, read, and understand scientific literature. It can automatically extract information from papers. We can identify relevant papers, track our progress, we can collaborate with others. We can site assistant, Elicit, and Insightful has two sub-tools. The paid discovery, which builds a network of papers from citation. It uses network analysis algorithm to analyze the network. And to have literature connector also, which allows us to enter two papers and will keep us interactive visualization showing how they're connected by the literature. For data analysis, remember that if you want to buy a software, then you need to search for these key features. If the tool you're going to buy has offers video visualization, statistical analysis, or data cleaning, data security, you need to be careful. Predictive analytics, for example, machine learning, an amazing tool. FormPlus, Atlas T. Atlas T is an amazing tool, AI tool for data analysis, which includes also predictive analytics. So we'll stop here, and in the second part, next time, we're going to analyze more about the journal selection and submission. What are the key factors to consider when we select a journal? So thank you very much.
Yes. Wow, this time is really extraordinary because you have added a lot of tips, including how to use ChatGPT, like earlier, all those parts, of course, almost common they can also find in other sessions, but of course, always your session is always very in detail, and this time is even more interesting with the tips on the advantages and disadvantages of using ChatGPT, and you also showed us what are other AI tools which we can use for research and what are the purposes it is for. So it's really interesting, very interesting. I think our audience, especially the PhD students and all that, can use this session to really know that, explore further on AI tools for research purposes. Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Dr. Rania Lampu, for this wonderful session with us again. And we wish to thank you again for your continuous support and your contribution to the global audience on the whole. It is really, you can say, so precious because it is done free for every one of them, and everybody have an opportunity to learn. Yeah, so even those who can't afford, they have an opportunity to learn. So we are also promoting a lifelong learning and, of course, free learning. Yeah, there is no reason that people cannot learn anything nowadays. You need money to learn something. Yeah, so this is one of the platform where they can learn a lot of things free without paying. Yeah, only your time and your focus. And please do put in your comments if you have anything, or you can send to
Or
my
any
message.
question? Yes, or any question?
Yeah. Actually, I had questions earlier, because you see, for research tools like social science, what are the best AI tools to use?
You mean at every stage of our research design?
Research design on this publishing and all that, because it's a bit, yeah. So I think if you are lecturing in the university, then you will know better, and you are doing that. Yeah, I know. It's okay. I think
Yes, okay. For social sciences,
different faculty. Yeah, social science you can tell. Okay,
yeah.
just one
Okay.
example.
So research. If we talk about each phase of research, so literature review, data collection, data analysis, visualization, writing, for each step, for each stage, you will use a different tool.
Different tools.
For example,
yes.
Lit Maps, it's very useful for social sciences because it's good for seeing connections. It offers a visual mapping of citation networks, and it helps trace how research topics evolve. So it's very well used in social sciences. Another tool is Python library for bibliometric and cytometric analysis with AI. This offers citations, collaborations, topics, and it's useful because it gives a lot of depth. And it needs clean data, of course. This is for literature review, Semantic Scholar, definitely it's a search engine. For data collection, Cassandra. Why Cassandra? Yeah, because it offers qualitative data analysis, discourse analysis, which are components of in social sciences, content analysis tools. It's a post collaboration. So why Cassandra is good for interviews, for text-based data, and another tool is UScan. This is interesting because it offers social media analysis, listening, monitoring, it extracts insights for social media. It offers audience analysis, image and text analysis. And it's great for public opinion, for media studies, etc. So for data collection, for data analysis, you have Netminer. This is doing also social network analysis. It offers text mining, graph visualizations. It supports both structured and unstructured data. It's very strong for network research. And for writing, of course, has to do with not only with social sciences, with everything, Grammarly, Trinka, AI, Killbot. This is useful for polishing.
For paraphrasing, you can use AI for paraphrasing, right? So
yeah, for paraphrasing, not only but also for summarizing, which is very interesting. For paraphrasing, Killbot can help you. The paraphraser.io, Scribr paraphrasing tool. We have WordTune. ChatGPT also can do this.
but is it free?
Okay, this is some tips. Some tips for academic paraphrasing is first, always keep the original meaning intact. This is the first step.
Yeah.
The second tip, combine paraphrasing with citation. Very important. And use tools as a first draft. Then you polish manually. And always run a plagiarism check afterwards, just to be safe. These are the best tips, the best practices for academic paraphrasing.
Yeah, maybe next during the part 2, maybe you can put this as the first slide. What are
for academic paraphrasing? Yes, how we can do this, because
maybe brief one. Yeah,
many scholars. Many scholars ask. Many researchers ask this question: how we can do this tool and at the same time avoid the plagiarism?
Yes.
How we can do this tool and how we can paraphrase and not be plagiarized, because the majority of works now, are excluded. They are excluded because of plagiarism. They have high rates of plagiarism because of the use of high tools. So that's why I'm saying wise use, responsible use of AI tools. We need to know how to use these tools in order not to reach high rates of plagiarism. And then our research work will be excluded. So yes, next session, we will focus on this: how we use these tools, how we can paraphrase without losing our academic integrity.
Yes, fantastic. I'll be looking forward to the session.
Yes.
Yeah, very much, because I need it. I need it also.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Rania, for your precious time, and your continuous support on this platform. And dear audience, thank you for your support too, and thank you for being with us today. And please look forward to our next session. It's going to be even more interesting, as Dr. Rania is going to start with how to do how to do paraphrasing, and at the same time avoid plagiarism, maintaining the meanings, the core meanings or core values of what you are doing. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. See you again. And tomorrow, Friday, we'll have our podcast session with another Malaysian guest. She's Dr. Mastura. She's a very special person. You will hear what she got to say tomorrow at Coffee with Estera. See you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. IST, 9:30 Malaysian, Singapore, and Philippine time. See you all then. Thank